I'm Julie Myers-Prawn, and I'm a graduate of Southern Methodist University. Now, I'm a very proud graduate of SMU, and I really have a good understanding of what the death penalty in football can do to a university. You see, back in the mid-70s through 1986, SMU and SMU's football program was found to have created a slush fund to use for under-the-table payments to players. The slush fund paid for things like Corvettes for the players and other nice cars, lavish trips, extreme dining. Basically, the players were gifted the equivalent of a really nice salary to come to SMU and play. When this was found out by the NCAA and it came out, lots of people were fired, coaches were fired, the athletic director was fired, the president of the school. Later, the governor of Texas was found to be guilty of knowing, because he was on the board of directors of the school, of knowing what was going on and saying it was okay to keep doing it for another year before they stopped. So this involved not just the football program and not just the school, but it actually involved the Southwest Conference, which was the football conference of the major Texas schools. It involved the government of Texas because Bill Clements became governor after being on the board of SMU. It really involved a lot of people. It was largely encompassing. The NCAA sanctioned the death penalty for the first time ever to SMU. The death penalty was an opportunity to say, for the year of 1987, there will be no games. Everything was canceled. They could do field drills for practice with their players, but that was it. Almost immediately, a really large number of the players were recruited elsewhere. A few remained. I don't really know how many, but the players left, and SMU was faced to rebuild their program as well as their reputation. The death penalty nearly closed down the school, or it nearly just it killed the spirit. It killed everything that was going for this great football school. It was the right thing to do. They had to put an end. The NCAA had to say, we will not put up with this. We don't want to see copying from other schools, although they have. And we need to find a way to make everyone know just how severely wrong this is. You cannot pay your players. But according to Wikipedia, the harshness of the penalty nearly destroyed SMU football. The Mustangs had only one winning season over the next 20 years, I was there then, and failed to make another bowl until 2009. It was also one of several factors that led to the collapse of the Southwest Conference. To this day, it is the most severe penalty ever handed down to a Division I athletic program. To date, it is also the only one time the NCAA has canceled a football playing school's entire season at any level. Which brings us to 2012. You see, in 2012 and 11, we found out that a major school's football program has been a mockery of sorts. It was led and it was built, and the entire school was built up by a coach, Joe Paterno, and people praised him. He was bigger than the school, and his program was enormous. Football, it's almost like there's Penn State and there's Penn State football. And it's like Penn State football is this big and Penn State's this big. They're both big, right? But Penn State football, I mean, that's an enormous institution. And it encompasses Penn State as well. So everyone's really been proud of Joe Paterno for all that time until the fall of 2011 when it came out that he did some horrible things. He covered up raping one of his coaches had raped and had basically allowed for this coach to continue to rape children. This is disgusting. There is absolutely nothing about this that's right. And it makes me sick, and it makes every other person I've talked to sick to know that this happened for so long. And I feel for the families, the children involved. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting and it's horrifying. So last night when my husband said to me, I think SMU might be about to be joined by another team and with the death penalty, I think there might be a second one out there. And I looked at him and I said, no, that's not possible. The NCAA has basically said they won't do the death penalty again because they saw just how severely it hurt the school itself and it hurt the students. And we had a good hour-long debate last night about whether or not the death penalty would be appropriate for Penn State. Joe Paterno died. Sandusky's in jail. the majority of the board, well, the board is still there, but the majority of everyone involved, everyone who knew, has been fired, is leaving, whatever, they're all gone. They're wiped out from the school. So the part that I feel is the students who are at the school, because it's still an institution, should they be punished for the poor judgment of this man? Yes, I think that the statue of Paterno needs to go. Yes, I think that anything that he did, any money he funded to the school that's sitting around, should be put towards programs to research this horrible thing of child abuse. And programs should be set up to help people who have been abused. Let's find ways to help these people. Let's make support groups. Let's support groups. I think the governor of Pennsylvania should just be impeached tomorrow for many reasons, and this just adds to the pot because he was involved. He knew. But do I think that the thousands of students who are students at Penn State should have their school suffer? Should have their programs, suffer because their huge institution of football is put on hold for a year and they lose all their players? Look, it's likely they're losing their players anyway. It's likely it's going to be a lousy couple seasons for them anyway. But there's got to be something for those students who are there for the spirit and the enthusiasm, and part of what they went to school for is actually the spirit of the school. Can that still exist? I don't know. But is it right for the NCAA to say, we're getting rid of football to punish you for something that you didn't do? I don't think so. I think that the NCAA needs to sanction the school in some way, and I think that the NCAA and the whole world needs to sanction these horrible people in some way. But I don't think the students and the alumni who were not involved, the 99.5% of the people involved in Penn State who were not involved in this horrible, horrible, horrible thing that just makes everyone just get sick. I don't think they should have, they've already suffered. I don't think that they need a death penalty to suffer even more. What do you think? What do you think the right punishment for Penn State is? Do you think they've been punished enough? And what do you think should happen? And should happen with the funds that Paterno had set up for the school? Should they still go to his plans? Should they go to his library? Or should they go to something else?